Hi, my name is Shama Nelson Godos and welcome to the book replay. I'm finally home. I traveled to Lagos for Ake Festival, and on my way back, I got myself involved in a bunch of side quests that delayed my journey back for 2 weeks. Unlike last year when I went for Ake Festival, my leg was not broken this time. So I decided to put these legs to use, and I tried to do everything I wanted to do in the southwest before coming back. But well, I couldn't do so much. But the ride home, it was tenuous at best. Traveling around that time was during the height of the kidnapping craze, where like we were getting students taken from schools. I was scared really traveling back, but I made it here to give a video, and it was worth it because Ake Festival, like always, is great energy, great community, great events. This was another edition that concluded successfully. I was there for all 3 days. Going to last year Ake Festival, I realized that the literary community in Nigeria is actually growing. There were a lot more people this year than the last year from my book club. I talk about the Wildcard Reading Book Club being the book club last year that got me back into reading because I wasn't really reading at all. There were like 4 of us from the book club that were at Ake Festival. This year we were 8, and a lot of us that came, we were funded by the club. If that is not like one of the biggest flexes for a book club to do, to be able to fund like a bunch of like book club members to go for a festival, I don't know. It was really lovely, and I really first want to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you and appreciate the runners of the Wildcard Reading Book Club for making it possible and easier for me to go to a Care Festival for this year and come back. Seeing the people that you used to review books with together, and then finally seeing some of them there, and you're like, aha! It's really like a good signal for the literary scene in Nigeria, because if book clubs are making an extra effort to get readers into places to meet other readers, it shows that, it's not just about, us coming to come and read and build empathy. Book clubs are also now looking out for self-improvement, and you know what, I'm done with that. So for this Ake, I didn't get to attend enough panels. I was more about talking to the people, talking to the writers, and making like connections, because throughout this year we have been here talking about books, we've been here talking to writers, and I've also sort of like been trying to get back into writing, because you guys don't know, I used to be a writer. I've written a comic before, and I've been published in like some journals. This festival was completely different for me. My goals were different. It wasn't just about the panels, it was also about the people. Earlier last decade, I think when Ake Festival started, there were a lot more writers within the attendees than there were readers. But this time now we have a lot more readers, and I think that is a plus. We never really had like a consolidation, or would I say readers really congregating and really throwing their weight around. Book clubs are by no means a recent thing, but the rise of book clubs, I think in the past 2 or 3 years, has been unprecedented. I've had like a writer tell me that, oh, we are in the golden age of Nigerian literature. Sometimes Google sends me articles and said, oh, this is Masobe, and this is what they are doing by cultivating the reading culture in Nigeria and all of that. So I looked around at Ake and I realized that there were a lot of readers. I think that's a very good signal for the scene. If you have a nation that reads, then you have a nation that is probably better at critical thinking. You have a people whose spirits are alive, and as reading is a place where empathy is also learned, because it is sort of like a shared experience. You also sort of get like a populace, a citizenry, sort of like develop a culture. Better personhood in this age where we have like a lot of problems with the technology, with the social and political technology of the nation state, and where we are questioning like what does it mean to be a citizen, especially in this country. I believe that cultivating a crop of readers who can ask questions, think critically, are more empathetic, and who are able to synthesize and understand ideas is ultimately a net positive for the nation state as a whole. So basically, invest in reading is one way that we're going to save this country. When we learn how to read, and when we learn how to read better, we are going to be better equipped to reclaim our truth and become, better version of ourselves, and, improve society as a whole. I want to congratulate, appreciate, thank the organizers of Ake Festival. I got to see my idolos, and that has even like set the direction for what I'll be doing on this channel over the next year. Everything I said about the last Aske festival still stands. We need more festivals. We need to read better. We need to attend festivals as readers and just, touch the literary spirits of like the scene and the place. So yeah, that's basically it. I didn't get much, but Alan Mambanku was at Ake, and this was one of the festival books dealing with the dead. I have seen Alan in like several international festivals, and of course, Alan has been shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize. And you guys know me, and I have a very, 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 very good relationship with the Man Booker books. So I hoped that by picking this, I'll be able to read and I'll be able to get Alan on the channel for a chat. Yeah, and I hope that by then my French is better so that he would laugh at my jokes because I do have a lot of jokes in French that I would like to share with Alan. So there's that. But I think one of my festival buys, like a book that I looked at and I was like, I want to buy for this festival, was Let Me Liberate You by Andy Davis. She's a Barbadian author, and this book was fantastic. I watched her panel, and as she was speaking, I was like, oh, okay, I would like to listen to her talk. So I'm really hoping that she would have the time to come on here and we will talk about this book. But definitely, I'm definitely going to review this. I have given it a read already. I'm actually on my second read of this book. And then I've been feeling for this book, The Road to Healing is Not Linear by Ozioma Okafor. To be a human being in the 21st century is to heal from something always. I've been seeing how she has been on the road. She has been around the city promoting the book. I have seen the reviews and I was like, you know what, I want some of this. So for sure, I hope she will have time to, come on the channel because yeah, at this point, it's not just enough for me to like read the book 3 times. I need more. I need to open the writer's brain and see what's inside. That's it. And then another book I got was The White Tiger. Of course, this is like the book that won the Man Booker Prize for 2008, and it's I read it once, and it's lovely. It's a lovely book, and I hope to read it. And by the time I start talking about like books that are outside the continent, this is definitely going to be one of my first pick because Indian literature goes crazy. Simply put, my fifth book is actually a literary textbook. I will just put a picture of it here because because it's somewhere I can't just go and get it now. But yeah, it is the College Handbook for Creative Writing, and I know that on this channel I have threatened to start a writing course, so that was just like a step in that direction. I have been meaning to get that book since the beginning of the year, and finally getting a copy of it has been really good. So I've been reading it, and it has really been like improving how I see literature, improving the elements of literature that I have been taught and I have been studying. And it really makes me, and it has really guided my writing because because I'm trying to get back into writing like fiction again. So when I write my fiction and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is something I did right. It's been really good for like also looking at novels critically, looking at stories critically, and also helping people edit their work. So yeah, it's basically like a self-improvement book. And if there's anything I like more than fiction, it's actually non-fiction. Yeah, originally I'm a non-fiction person. Oh my god, the cat's out of the bag. So yeah. So yeah, yes, those are just the books. I remembered like the first video that I made where I was talking about plans for this channel, about how I was going to review books. And being able to do that throughout this year has been nothing short of amazing. Like when I was recording like a lot of the episodes, I had it at the back of my mind that nobody would want to sit down and watch the review of a book for 30 minutes. But then again, a lot of people have reached out to me and said, no, they enjoy these reviews and that they would like to see more. And I want to say for people who even just click these reviews and just watch, even if it's just like, say, oh, hi, Shama, this is the book review, and today we are reviewing this book, and they close it. Thank you so much. People who watch the short review version, thank you so much. People who watch the long reviews, because I see you guys at the back end, and I'm like, you guys are the goats, and you guys really keep me encouraged. It's been great just like going on this journey for this year. It's been, and on a personal level, it has been great for my mental health. For next year, we are going to have even more interviews. We're going to have even more reviews. I have been like doing a lot of planning. I've been trying to clear a lot of schedules so that, I'm not too overwhelmed to put out content as I was at many of the times this past year and everything. I know that a lot of books that I review, a lot of them are like literary fiction, and most of the time I had focused on a lot of teaching. I'd focused on trying to like speaking to writers as well as readers, trying to like improve how people look at books critically, trying to talk about by reviewing them according to the elements of literature, premise, framing, narrative, all of that good stuff. And one of the things that will be that one of the things that we would see in the season 2 of the book replay, we're going to involve a lot of romance authors, and we're going to have the book replay look at these pieces of literature. We'll talk to these authors. We'll find out like a lot more stuff for people who like to read romance novels and people who want to write them. So yeah, I really hope that we get like a great resource for people who want to get into the genre, who want to produce the genre. So basically, we're not just going to do literary fiction again. We're going to do romance, and then we're also going to do urban fantasy. So those are like two areas that I'm looking to intentionally, steer our reviews to and our conversations to in season 2 of the book replay. We do have a Spotify podcast, but we're going to propagate that to YouTube. We're going to propagate that to Apple. If you can't watch, you can hear. You can just play it and just go about your day and just like hear like what your favorite authors have to say about literature, what they have to say about books. Finally, I hope to do a lot more writing because I've started writing. So we are going to host like the written reviews on its own channel particularly. So for those of us who can't watch, who can't listen, but you can read, so we are going to read. So once again, thank you so much, my viewers. I have 115 subscribers, and that number means so much to me because I didn't think that I would find 115 people that will hit the subscribe button when it came to reading, because for a long time reading was sort of like a solitary affair, and we always located ourselves in random places where somebody reads and you're like, oh my god, you read, you get. So for your encouragement, thank you for sharing, thank you for the support. It really means a lot to me. So with all that I have said and all I have rambled, I didn't come with a script, I'm so sorry. I would like to say thank you for a wonderful season 1 of the book replay, and I hope to see you guys at season 2, and I hope that we'll come back better, stronger, and get all of that good stuff. So thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye bye.